Are you ready? Detroit is ready. Day one of the NFL draft is finally here. All of draft season, SZN, has been leading up to this moment.
We are going to chat about the biggest questions that we have.
We have seen for 2 years now this guy be the closest thing to Patrick Mahomes.
You think about how the quarterbacks are going to go and where they're going to go in the top 5. What are the possible scenarios that are of the most interest to you?
You know, Steve, there's a really solid draft class up at the top of the board.
But the strength really being the tackle class.
Any other scenarios, situations for the Jets that you see, Dane?
Feels like it's going to be something that's going to help Aaron Rodgers. It's going to help this offense because they're all in for this year.
This is not a fist bump pick in the draft room. This is a jump out of your chair, give somebody a hug.
At what point would it make sense for the Jets to draft a quarterback?
Is there a world in which we go Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State over Fashanu?
The first 3 rounds should be loaded with players that can come in, make contributions, and those things.
In terms of going all in, it makes complete sense for the Jets.
What does their offensive line stack look like?
It had a chance to break the record of 11 of the first 50 picks being wide receivers. I think we have a real legit shot of breaking that record this year as well.
Should the Jets draft an offensive lineman with the 10th overall pick or a wide receiver?
It just depends on how their board stacks out and who's available for them starting at number 10.
I go with Olu Fashanu personally. What do you think? Future planning versus near-sighted planning?
A pass catcher who they believe can help right away, or it's going to be an offensive lineman.
You need to win right now. They need a tackle. I'm giving them Olu Fashanu out of Penn State.
Big-time playmakers at wide receiver, probably the deepest.
This year really is what matters most for
what is
Jets.
Their best landing spot for instant success?
Overall, they're one of the most interesting teams.
That is the single most important piece of the Jets.
A year away from a team that thought they were competing going all in, now they have a top 10 pick where they could add something. And so which direction they go, it's super interesting.
I'm looking at this as an offensive-heavy draft.
What's the best case scenario for players?
It's so easy to imagine how good it could look.
You ready to get this show on the road? Okay, the 2024 NFL Draft is now underway.
I'm on the text. So tell them about your idea.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Top of the morning. All right.
So what has this process been like the last few weeks, just preparing for the draft?
Yeah, well, a lot of great conversations, a lot of great meetings with our college scouts were here last week, and our coaches got together, and we just we went through everybody. You know, we had a lot of good discussions, and I think we're in a good spot. Excited about next week, and we definitely have 10 players that we're excited to take. So we're ready to roll.
When you have an older quarterback like Aaron, how important is it to surround him with as many playmakers as possible? And how mindful are you of that going into this?
Yeah, you know, I think when you look back at some other situations where a player like Aaron has gone, there's been key playmakers around them, and so we feel like we have a lot of good players. And again, we've made some moves to shore up the offensive line, and I think we're really in a position where we're sitting at 10, and I think there's great flexibility there for us.
How has the moves you made previously affected what you're going to be able to do in this draft?
Well, look, I think the moves we've made have given us the flexibility. Like I've said, 4 quarterbacks go. We're going to have some decisions to make at 10. We're going to be prepared if our phone's ringing. We're going to be prepared, and I think really it's a great opportunity to take best player available.
Have you seen tight end evolve and change a little bit where that spot is becoming a priority position, one worthy of potentially a selection that high?
Well, look, if that tight end can become someone that has turned into what Kansas City, San Francisco, what Laporte did last year in Detroit, like those are dynamic weapons for your offense, and it's hard to put a linebacker on one of those guys. You put a DB on one of those guys, it creates a size mismatch, and you put a safety on those guys. Well, he better be able to run, he better be able to play man coverage. So the right type of tight end can be a real weapon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
So here we are, man. This is the day of Caleb Williams. Yeah. And it is. And, it's like everybody has known and has felt like this has been etched in stone for quite some time. I believe so. And then it gets interesting. Then it gets really interesting. And the first, 3 to 6 picks, those teams right there, along with the Broncos and, of course, I'm trying to think the other team, the Vikings, are going to be trying to move up.
All right. Tomorrow morning.
Yes.
We're in the sports talk business.
Yes, we are.
We do predictions. We're going to do predictions right now. Tomorrow morning, the Giants will have selected. The Jets will have selected. Would you like me to go first or second? I do have my answers already.
All right, I'm going to let you go first.
All right.
This is my 16th draft. I'm very thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be a part of something like this, right? This is my second organization, starting with the Texans and now going into my 6th year with the Jets. So really excited. It never wears off. There's that nervous energy that you have, but there's also some confidence that you have. And so sometimes you might not sleep as well because you start thinking about things, but it's just such an exciting moment.
The 10th overall pick should be a plug-and-play guy to assist them in winning a championship with Aaron Rodgers.
Every team, sees a player differently, right? They might see a player differently the way you see him. So our board might be different from all the other 31 teams' boards. And so there's always going to be that situation where you're sitting there in the room and there's that surprise pick, right? You might not have had a player that high on your board. And that always happens, but I think that's the beauty of the draft, right? We all get paid for our opinion and our suggestion and, what we see in players. And when those things happen, sometimes you get excited because it works in your favor. Or let's say if it doesn't, you pivot and you always got a plan B for the next player that's on your board that you can select. And our pro staff, along with Joe and Coach Sala and the coaching staff, did a great job of selecting players that filled certain needs from an offense, defense standpoint, even special teams. And it does give you a little bit more freedom where now you don't have to go into the draft and feel like you got to reach for a position, right? You select the best player that's on your board as you have them stacked and slotted. And so for us, it was very helpful. And we brought in quality young men, guys that are possibly future Hall of Famers, that are leaders. They've won before. They've been part of Super Bowls. And that's what we're trying to build here. So it's a great luxury. We still got to do our job and break down every player that's in the college areas. But at the same time, it did help us. But we don't feel like now you got to reach and just select a player because we need this position for us to be successful.
Every class is different in terms of which positions are deepest. What do you like the most about this particular draft in terms of the depth?
I tell you what, the depth from an offensive standpoint is pretty big. When you look at the number of wide receivers that are coming out, I mean, you got the top tier, you got maybe a tier 2 and even a tier 3 that can come right in and help you right away. And that's really great. I mean, you look at the offensive tackles that possibly can go in the first round in this year's draft. There's depth at the offensive guard position. So it's funny, we talk about it. This might be my first draft where, the top 10 players, there might be 8 out of 10 that might be offensive players selected. So I thought it was a heavy offensive, as far as positions draft, and that's good for us. I won't be surprised in the top 10 if there's 3 or 4 quarterbacks that might be taken. And I think that helps us a great deal because there's going to be players that we feel really high about that's going to drop down where, we're going to be excited Joe's a big guy, former offensive lineman, but he has such a calmness to him during the draft. I mean, I think people in there might be everything's chaotic. We only got, let's say, 5 minutes left to make a selection, and Joe is super cool throughout that whole process. And I think a lot of that comes through his preparation, right? He's already gone through all the scenarios that can happen. He's talked to the right people as far as opportunities to either move up or move back. And I think when you do that, when you're prepared, like he does, and the way we do as far as our meetings and how thorough we are, it really helps you when you're sitting in there and see when he says, hey, we have a strong conviction for this player here. Let's go get him. Him being a leader in that moment, you need that guy to be calm, and that's what he brings to the table every time. The guys, after they make their selection, everybody's high-fiving and jumping up, and they're all jacked up about, who they just selected. What you don't realize, and people might wonder, like, I had a friend that tell me, why are you guys doing all that, jumping all over each other just to select a player? But when I tell them, you don't realize the work that we put into it, the time that we spent with that player, right? From interviews, workouts, bringing them to the Jets facility to get to know him a little bit, knowing about his family. All that work, you create a relationship with him. So when you can get the guy that you know is going to be immediate impact, it's such an exciting moment because you know what these players are going to bring to the organization from a character standpoint and even from an athletic ability standpoint. So it's an amazing experience, and I love it. Morning.
All right.
How about this one? You good on this one?
Yeah, I got you. Let's go.
Cool. Keep talking.
Yep, I got you. 1, 2,
Awesome,
3.
thank you.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
Test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome. Thank you. Darcy's going to go next.
All right, test on the head coach.
I got you.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Head coach's phone. Test 1, 2.
Yeah, I don't know how that's good. The lapel pins are looking good.
They do look nice.
Sure. I told you.
I didn't like it as much not, but on it looks better.
I really like it. I want to get one with just the.
Just the words. That's what I really.
No, I don't want the word. I want just the jet look. Like that hat.
Oh, yeah. Just the watch.
Just the logo.
Cool. You got like 30 seconds.
We waited 6 years to say this. Welcome to the NFL Draft in Detroit.
The 2024 draft is open. Chicago is now on the clock.
And it is an event where we may set an all-time record, or at least tie an all-time record for most quarterbacks selected in round one. Now, we could have 6 go in round 1 tonight.
We're definitely good, Bree. What's the most important position in all sports?
Chicago has submitted its pick. Washington is now on the clock.
Washington is on the clock, and Adam Schefter, what do we need to know?
Well, during last week, the Washington Commanders had a group of quarterbacks in for a visit. The 2 quarterbacks that had the most support within the Commanders organization were Jaden Daniels and also J.J. McCarthy.
New England has submitted its pick. Arizona is now on the clock. Arizona has submitted its pick. The Los Angeles Chargers are now on the clock. The Los Angeles Chargers have submitted their pick. The New York Giants are now on the clock.
Three.
The New York Giants have submitted their pick. Tennessee is now on the clock.
Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, LSU.
We can sign and they want to come back up to 10, so they want to.
Tennessee has submitted its pick. Atlanta is now on the clock.
I like scenario C. That gives us more. Instead of picking, so use the trade. Take the defender.
Atlanta has submitted its pick. Chicago is now on the clock.
So it would be 129. So it's 129, 67.
Chicago has submitted its pick. The New York Jets are now on the clock.
11, 129, 157.
10, 203, 11,
We're good? Yep, 7.
Cleveland State. Got a trade. Good. We've got a trade. Minnesota. Okay, we're sending Minnesota pick 10, 203. They're sending us pick 11, 129, and 157.
Oh, you have to do it, right? What? No. I think you do it again. I think you should.
4 and 5, we give up the 6th. Huh? 4 and 5, we give up the 6th. If anything, you need your boys to move back 1 spot. And they're going to take, I think, McCarthy. They're taking McCarthy?
I mean, if we're in this point.
Great.
72 more. Okay, we're in this point. Free money. Free money.
Come in. 7:45.
Yeah. No, not right now. Let me throw this one in. All right, good luck. Let's call it.
Olu, it's calling.
Pull it in.
JB, go get it.
He's going to make the move. And inside Kirk Cousins back, so we knew based on that and those two things that we're going to get a quarterback. Which quarterback has he identified? Either way, Kevin O'Connell has
Oh my.
this quarterback. So he is
Hello.
all those weapons that
Hello.
this quarterback.
Hey, Olu.
Hey, what's going on?
What do you mean, what's going on? We got you. You're a New York Jet.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
You're a great player. Everybody that interviewed you loved you.
My dude. I'm so happy for you, brother. Appreciate you, Mr. Douglas. I can't wait.
We're excited to get you. We're excited to get you up here. You're going to be a hell of a player for a very long time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't wait to get to work. Alrighty. You too. See ya. New York Jets.
With the 11th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Olu Fashanu.
Awesome, man. I'm so happy.
All the miles, all the time spent in hotels, all the time spent away from family. I mean, it's all for this night, this weekend, and so it really is. It's so great for our college scouts. They sacrifice a lot, to help this team, and so it's been great having them here this week. We've had unbelievable meetings with them leading up to tonight, and just to see some happy faces after we made the pick, it's special. Had plenty of strategy meetings, just talking about scenarios where we move up, scenarios where we move back, and it just the way the board fell. We had the opportunity to make a small move backward with the Vikings, and still able to get who we think is going to be a dominant left tackle in this league, Olu. So fired up to have him. Look, there was a lot of calls leading up to that pick, and there was a lot of calls when we were on the clock. So, it was really active.
From an O-line perspective, to be able to protect the quarterback, keep him upright, allow him to go through progression so he can get it to our playmakers, and we do feel like we've got a bevy of them. Getting and improving our offensive line in free agency and adding to the depth and the future of the offensive line was a big part of the discussion.
Olu's been on our radar since he started last year, since he became a full-time star last year. Really, he played in a bowl game 3 years ago where he started, and you're watching tape on some other guys. Who's this young left tackle that's jumping out on tape? And so, watching him from a young age and watching him develop over the last 2 years, you see some elite pass pro ability. We were able to get some more ammo, and so we'll get together tomorrow. We'll reset the board and see where we're at and see how the rest of the first round goes. But we have a great opportunity to make the team better over the next 2 days. So excited to do it.
Thank you.
It is now time for night number 2 of the National Football League draft here in Detroit, Michigan.
Washington has traded its pick. Philadelphia is now on the clock.
This is Cooper's Jimmy.
With the 40th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Cooper DeJean, DB, Iowa.
I said at the top, we could see 6 corners go tonight. Well, 3 of them have already gone. We've also seen a run on defensive tackles, and we've seen some wide receivers come off the board here. So we've also seen a zillion trades. This is, again, a targeted draft. Teams are identifying who they want, and they're going up and getting them. As patient as everybody was on day 1, they feel like the supply is starting to dwindle, and they're being aggressive to go get their guys.
Offered scenario C. What about Washington? That's awesome. I think we can get okay, sounds good.
Indianapolis has submitted its pick. Washington is now on the clock.
Mitchell. Yes. Mitchell.
Yeah. 1 minute remaining.
They have one guy that they were representing. He said they think they're going to stay under guy.
Washington has submitted its pick. Cleveland is now on the clock.
With the 53rd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Ben Simmons.
With the 60th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Cole Bishop, DB, Utah.
Detroit has submitted its pick. Baltimore is now on the clock. Baltimore has submitted its pick. San Francisco is now on the clock.
Oh, yeah. Get Rosenthal. I think we're still on. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to be 135.
How about this? 65 to 172. They want to now.
For our guy.
He's there and call him
San Francisco has submitted its pick. Carolina is now on the call.
Third round, 5 minutes.
Just a reminder, you'll have 5 minutes this round.
We're going to do it. So it'll be 72 and 156.
Yeah!
Yeah.
6. I'm calling the player Malachi Corley.
You got 120.
Malachi, how you doing? This is Woody Johnson, owner of the New York Jets. How you doing?
I'm doing that.
We've been sweating about you for the last 2 hours. So happy. We saw your tape. We love you.
Malachi, hey, it's Joe.
What's going on, big dog? Yeah, how you doing?
Dog, I am so freaking excited. I can't wait to see you hunting DBs with the ball in your hands. Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
You represent everything we are all about. Toughness, violence, anger. I can't tell you how excited I am, big dog.
Malachi. What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. You can bring all that anger to the football field here, brother.
No question. I'm ready to do it.
No, I know you are. We've been, I know you heard it already, man. We've been chasing you for a couple hours. We're blessed, be excited. We have a tremendous vision for how you're going to be used here. And you're coming to into a really, really cool room of receivers. And can't express to you how excited we are, my man. I'm going to give you to our offensive coordinator. He is freaking fired up. Hold on 1 second.
All I care about is I just want you to keep running angry.
Yes, sir. No doubt. I will.
So excited, man. Just keep running angry. Run over everybody. Hey, here's SJ. Your new coach, baby.
My new coach, yes, sir.
Okay.
What's going on, big dog?
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, let's
go!
Man. It's time.
No doubt, it's time. It's time, man. Let's go. Let's show up and be ready to go. Hit the ground running, right? Hit the ground running.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Everything in our way.
Everything. Yes, sir.
That's right. Good mindset. We talked about it, right? Let's go. All right,
I'm looking forward to it.
I know you are, big guy. I know you are. I know you are.
Yes, sir.
All right, you take care.
Daniel was talking about being able to make those home run hitting type of plays. And Bill, he drew up the wide receivers running inside.
GM Joe Douglas knows exactly what he's doing. Fashanu in round 1 can play left tackle, circle back, and you get Aaron Rodgers some help at the top of round 3 with Malachi Corley.
Jets at 11, Fashanu, the left tackle from Penn State. I like this pick for the Jets.
Malachi Corley, last to the top of the 3rd round. This feels almost like stealing.
I think Fashanu has a chance to be a top 3 to 5 pass protector in the league.
This kid's so damn good. Easy guy to root for because he will literally truck these DBs out there.
Corley is simply a yak monster.
I think he has the potential to be the best tackle in this draft class. I think his footwork is phenomenal. I've actually comped his footwork ability to Tyron Smith.
He's the yak king. Because guess what? Crown. Put that crown on him, folks.
A top-tier pass protector with good feet that can mirror pass rushers on an island.
Malachi Corley to the end zone for a touchdown.
I mean, they just don't move like Fashanu does.
Malachi Corley, goodbye.